Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Phoenix Draconis coming with you with another toy review video. Now this week's video is going to focus on Transformers Legends LG60 Overlord. Now for those of you that have seen my previous video reviews, I have already reviewed the Overlord figure in its Hasbro version for Transformers Titans Return. Now you're going to see a lot of differences between the two. Not just the figure, but in its presentation with the box and the box art. Now here we have some really good variations. Now as you can tell, that you have two different, I want to say, looks with Overlord. That is due to the fact that the Titan Master figures are no longer God Masters. For those of you that had seen the original G1, Japanese series, Chojin Master Force. This series incorporated or introduced what they refer to as the God Master. When the Power Master line came out in the U.S. and it was going to make its way to Japan, and the live action series known as Captain Power had already made had already been introduced in the Japanese pop culture. So the term or the catchphrase "Power On" had already been used, and it's not that oh god, how was it put? It's not too far-fetched in the Shinto religion to obtain the powers of a god. So they wound up utilizing, the term God On. And this is where you see a lot of the characters that were introduced in the U.S. Toy line, such as Power Master Optimus Prime. God, I forgot the rest of the other Power Masters, but there were a few others that were not introduced in the U.S. God Master being one of them, or I should say, Overlord being one of them. He's got, as you can tell from the box art, two God Master units on his chest. But like I said, for the line here, they kind of switched it up with the Titan Master figures because, as you already know, for those of you that have the Hasbro version, Overlord had become a headmaster. So they wound up reintroducing the old God Masters, Mega and Giga, into Titan Masters, which basically has two separate heads. So you have a more masculine face when it comes down to Giga, and you have a more feminine looking face when it comes down to Mega, since they're both male and female. Hence the look and the poses in the box art. Let me see if I can pull this up a little bit so you can see. And you see where Overlord Mega has a type of feminine type of stance, and you have Overlord Giga, or I should say Overlord Mega, sorry about that, where he's got a much more masculine stance. And there are the two God Master units. And I'm going to show yeah, there goes an ambulance. There's a hospital not too far away from here, so I'm not too surprised. But I'm going to go ahead and put this back up here. Oh, there we go. Focus. There we go. So as you can tell, the box art is really awesome looking. I like the concept where it's like you have a type of different personality on there. Personally though, since I've got the the Hasbro version as well, which I'll be showing off too. I'm probably gonna get this add-on kit that I saw, you know, in one of the other video reviews, which basically you can convert the Titan Master to become God Masters, and you can put those on the chest, which I think is really cool. Okay, so anyway, going on with the rest of the box art, you have the top section here, which I'm gonna try and focus. There we go. And it's got the, you know, both Giga and Mega, and you can tell. I'm gonna show this off real quick. Let's see, Giga's got a really stern, serious face, and Mega has a type of softer, feminine face with a very unique look. Come on, focus. There we go. And of course, we got more box art. You know, full-on box art of Mega and Giga. More product shots. Is there anything on the bottom? No, just your standard warnings. And of course, you got your product shots there. And I can see where, you know, where they wanted to have, you know, whoever, you know, pretty much winds up as the head would have a different personality. So, you know, even though they're both battle ready, it's the same figure. The head pretty much will determine the type of movements or personality or the look, as a matter of fact, of how it goes. The illustration shows that that's how they wanted it to be. So that, I think, is pretty awesome. Now, as you can tell from the box art there. I mean, not from the box art, silly me. Whoa, I'm trying to do a little bit of focus. So as you can tell from the product shots and everything, how everything's supposed to go. Which, like I said before, I like that it incorporates the original Godmasters. You know, just like in the Super Genrai, the engine components are already molded into the body. So, you know, I did myself try to see if those components can be removed out of there, but it looks like they're molded to the actual chest piece. So that's, you know, that's not going to happen. Now, you know, so that's where it's at right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this back up. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring out the figure, or I should say, I'm gonna bring out the other box, and that way we can do a comparison in terms of their look. Okay, here we have is a side-by-side view of the box art between the Hasbro version as well as the Takara Tomy version. Now, as you can tell, for those of us that have followed the new line since Combiner Wars, excuse me, since Combiner Wars, you know, you've had the, you know, the standard, standard black field with the red lettering of Transformers, the you know, the logo, Times Returns, Dreadnought, and Decepticon Overlord, and some basic box art. Now, what I'm going to do is show off that same box art here. So, oops, yeah, there we go. So as you can tell, you got your standard box art on there. Really good look. You know, it just shows, you know, the head coming on. on there. And of course, on the other side, you got your standard, black field with the Decepticon logo at the end. For those that cannot see, I'm going to try and focus. There you go. And of course, you got your standard warnings. Then you have your obligatory product shot with upcoming figures. And unlike, I'll try and zoom on that one, and unlike the Takara version, it only has one head, the Headmaster or Titan Master Dreadnought. It's got the same posability, same transform mode and everything. The only difference is the paint schemes and such. As you can tell, and I'm going to go ahead and try and show you the box art on this one as well. Okay. And zoom back out. There we go. Now, as you can see on the left, you have you have the Overlord colors, kind of washed in a way, some whatnot. But notice in the Takara Tomy version, the darkers are much more darker. I want to say the faces are a lot more paler. They're not gray, they're white. Brings out the eyes a little bit more. And I have to say, this version, I probably will not add on any Reaper labels like I did with the Hasbro version. I don't know. I mean, at one point I was thinking about, maybe I should go ahead and get me a set. I don't think Toy Hacks had put out a set of repo labels for this version of Overlord. If they do have a set, I'll probably go ahead and get on there. Probably a couple of add-on stickers here and there. But I have to say, all in all, I think it looks good. I think the Overlord, the Takara version, looks good without it. But because there were some areas that I think, in my personal opinion, required it. But again, it really depends. If Toy Hacks does put out a repo label set, I'll take a look at it and see. But all in all, I like what I have. The only thing I would definitely want to get is the add-on kit for the Hasbro version of Overlord. Anyway, let me go ahead and stop babbling, and I'm going to pull out both versions. Now, I'm not going to do a transformation, or if I do, it will be a time-lapse version of it, since you've already seen me describe, how it's transformed, where to click on, add on, so forth and so on. So, give me a moment while I pull these boxes aside, and I'll bring out the figures. Okay, and there they are, looking at each other. Now, like I said, the differences are quite apparent. Now, naturally, yes, I do have the repo labels on for the Titans Returns Overlord, which a lot of the original stickers, as you saw from the box art and everything on the Hasbro version, a lot of those were wound up removed, mostly because, I don't know, it just didn't work well. Of course, a lot of these were added, especially along the legs, the feet, as you can tell from the chest piece, even on the forearms, because this red line here and this silver around the cone were not on there originally. Not to mention, and I don't know if you can see this, I'll try and zoom in just a little bit. And there we go. Okay, as you can tell, there's some repo labels along the rudders and the wings. You know, those were added on there later. Now, one thing I kind of have a problem with are the legs, how it stands. I think I probably mentioned it. If not, I am now. Well, let me zoom that back a bit. Okay. Alrighty. So, but like I said, there's like some subtle differences between the two figures here. Now, in addition, as you can tell, it's very apparent. The colors are a lot more darker. Around the forearm here, where you have the elbow, that is in gray, where you have nothing but a solid white piece here. This bottom portion where the wheel is all white, where this originally was, I believe, nothing but blue, but until I added that repo label on there. Now, one thing that you may have noticed, the chest piece here, or I should say the chest coverings, are a lot different. As you have a solid mass, and this had, I don't know if you remember in the box art, was, a type of silver piece inside that's, had like some detailed components. But again, this is repo label right here. I'll try and zoom in again. So for those that haven't seen, zoom, thank you. This piece over here is repo labeled here. This down here on the legs is also repo labeled. I should say on the top portion of the thigh. Couple of these areas here are also repo labeled. The lines, like I said. I'm going to turn this puppy around a bit. Even this back portion here is also repo labeled. Oh, and that's another thing too. I almost forgot. I want to zoom out so I can show you the differences. Now, this portion over here, this is painted on here. Well, can you see? There we go. These areas are painted on. Whereas in this version, there's no type of paint or sticker application. And considering that he is a stealth fighter, or I should say a stealth jet, there wasn't a whole lot of detail on there. I mean, there's a lot of molded detail, I can tell you that much. But in terms of the figure itself, I should say in terms of the components itself, which I'll probably go ahead and, I probably will go ahead and transform them. But in the body itself, as you can tell, there's not a whole lot of color variations. Now this back here is also repo label, and there's a couple of other areas. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and transform and show you the difference in vehicle mode. At the same time, I'm also going to show off, Mega and Giga. Okay, before I forget, I went ahead and I want to show you the differences between the actual Titan Masters. Now, I went ahead and, beheaded the Titan Master for Overlord Hasbro version. And there you are. As you can tell, I have to say, I have been saying a lot of things concerning this figure. And, I'm going to try and keep him in the light there. There we go. And, yeah, there's a repo label in his belly. But, nonetheless, I've been saying a lot of things concerning the Titan Masters line, concerning the head. Not a lot of paint apps. but this one in the face especially, you know, looks a lot better. You see some differences in the arms and legs, which I think is pretty good. And of course you have some good detailing here. Now, unless you hold it just right, you can probably see the red in the eyes. I can look at it, but it depends on the lighting. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put him back next to Overlord. And I'm going to go ahead and bring out Mega and Giga. Okay, so here we have the Titan Masters for Overlord, the Takara Tomy version. We have Mega and Giga. And let's see here. Yeah, on the left you have Mega, and on the right you have Giga. Now for those of us, like I said, that saw the original, you know, Super God Master Force or Chojin Master Force, we would recognize these characters right off the bat. Now basically, like I said, the Giga is the Giga Headmaster is the male counterpart to his female counterpart, which is Giga. Or I should say Mega, sorry. So here we have Giga. And I'll try and pull him. Not so close. There we go. And focus. Okay, I'm going to try and zoom out just a bit so focus just a little bit more. As you can tell, it's got, you know, some good paint applications. They two-toned the thighs and the calves. As you can tell, you know, the chest piece, the arms and the shoulders, looks like they were at one point one blue color, but they painted the shoulder parts. And of course the back is pretty white, which I'm going to transform his head. There we go. And there is Giga. And as you can tell right off the bat, you can tell the difference. You know, he's got this stern face on here. And you can actually see his the eyes, the red Decepticon color eyes very clearly. I'll transform him back, put him next to his lady friend. And I'm going to bring over Mega. Now, Mega is pretty much almost the same, different head sculpt because of the mask. Different body, as you can tell right off the bat. Also, you know, white calves, light blue or aqua colored arms, white arms with the I'm all over the place, with the shoulders painted on. And of course transform her head, and from what you can see, it's a lot more androgynous, very smooth, soft. Still, she's got this smirk on her. And one thing I kind of noticed as well, you'll probably see it, there we go. Like I said, there's differences in the face there. Her nose is a lot more slender. His is a little bit more broad. The eyes are a little bit more open on Mega's than it is on Giga's. And for those of you who are wondering which one's which, okay, Giga is the one that's on the left, Mega is the one that's on the right. But like I said, you can tell the differences right off the bat. It's a lot more softer than Giga's. And, you know, Mega has this type of mischievous smile, this smirk on her face. Alright, so those are the comparisons for the heads. Now I'm going to go ahead and transform both Overlords to show you the comparisons. Of the figures themselves in vehicle modes. Okay, something I almost forgot too. You know, I forgot to switch the Titan Masters. So at this point in time, as you can tell, since throughout most of this presentation, I had Mega's Titan Master on Overlord. Now I am showing you Giga, or I should say Overlord Giga, on there. And as you can tell, his chest compartments are opened up to reveal, you know, the original Giga and Mega engine modes on his chest. Like I said, I did try and see if I could try and pop those puppies off, but it looks like they are molded in there, just like the you know, the Transformers Legends Super Jinrai. He has that engine component molded to you know, molded to his body already. Yes, so I mean, they're keeping up. Granted, they got the G1 look. It's just the components there are there. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on. Come on, there we go. There we go. Ah, to loosen this just a little. There we go. Okay, as you can tell, you know, you have the some really great. It looks really great on him. That's that stern look. He's ready for battle. He's wanting to kick some Cybertron ass. So as you can tell, the differences are quite subtle. Even the illustration shows off, you know, where Giga is ready for battle. Is showing off basically everything on him. The chest components are open and everything. With Mega, it looks like, despite the fact she is a Destron leader as well, she's a little bit more reserved. Otherwise, those chest components won't be open. So, hence the differences in personalities. So it makes me wonder how, if they were to animate this, how she would sound. Would they have the same voice, especially in robot mode? But you know, that's the difference right there. So, and for those of you that have seen my, like I said, going back to my previous video of Hasbro's, you know, Titans Returns Overlord, I'm not going to go ahead and show off the combined mode. I mean, you've already seen it. He only has one Titan Master, so. And that's where we run into some problems in terms of that, because especially where you have Giga and Mega, they are both pilots to two different vehicles, whereas Dreadnought for the Hasbro version can only pilot one vehicle at a time, unless he's planning to go ahead and, you know, do a remote pilot of the other. It's kind of hard to control two different vehicles at the same time. For anyone that's tried it and succeeded, hats off to you. Anyway, I'm babbling on, so forgive me. I'm going to go ahead and transform both Overlords so we can see the differences in their vehicle modes as well. Alright, and there they are in their vehicle mode. And I have to tell you, they look spectacular. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on Giga and Mega. And right off the bat, especially with the tank, you can see some differences. Now, if you look over here, you're going to say, oh no, there's not that much difference. But if you took a look at the original box art, I'm going to bring that back over here. Notice that there were no type of sticker applications on this vehicle. However, now there are. That's due to toy hacks there. Like I said, when I got this figure, or I should say the Hasbro version, I went ahead and I saw the the promo shots on Toy Hacks, I liked it. I went ahead and got me a set, and I added that on there. It made him pop a little bit more, kind of reminiscent of the G1. Granted, there's some different variations of it in terms of what he has, and I'm going to keep an eye on, see if there's some repo labels to add on, just to have a little bit of similarities, because you have, like, I don't know if you can see though. I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit more. Come on, zoom. Thank you. There we go. But as you can tell, he's got a little bit of headlight details and stuff, some items on the side, even some rear items there. But again, that's just the Toy Hacks version. Now I'm going to go ahead and show the variations of the Giga Tank. Let's see if we can, there we go. So it's not so damn bright. Anyways, sorry, I'm just adjusting the tripod there. Okay, so as you can tell, there's some already painted items on there. From the front portion of the tank is a purple version, whereas you don't see it on the Hasbro version. It's a much more brighter white, in my opinion. And of course, you got some paint applications on the side. Let's see here. A much more darker gray for the treads. And take a look at, there we go. Okay. And yeah, pretty much it's almost the same mold, just different paint applications and such. Not to mention, the bonus is that you can be able to add one of the Titan Masters in vehicle mode. As you can tell right there. And that's one of the things that I like, is that in vehicle mode you can be able to put both Titan Masters in their respective, you know, vehicles. I'll try and zoom out so I can have Mega in her Mega Jet. And again, you know, like I'm gonna do a comparison there. Like the Titans Returns version, you know, body type's still the same and everything. The Takara Tomy version has a much more darker black, bit brighter white, in my opinion. Of course, everyone's different. The only differences are that there are some sticker as well as paint applications that were on there prior. So I want to show the box art again so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So like before, I'm going to focus on the jet there. So you can tell there is some sticker applications along the on the back of the fuselage, along the engines, even a Decepticon symbol in the front. And of course, here we have, you know, the original paint app here, but again, the rest is pretty much all repo labeled from what you can see here. And along the sides, even on the rudders and the wings, just totally stickered up with repo labels, which in my opinion, when I first got that, it felt awesome, looked awesome. Now, one thing I did notice, that when it comes down to the canopy, and I'm going to try and zoom that, there we go, you can see that each and every, I want to say, basically along the cockpit area, is all painted in black, whereas in the Takara version, I'm going to take Mega out of there. You can tell it's just along the top portion. Oop, there you are. It's just along the top portion there. But as you can tell right off the bat, her jet doesn't have a whole lot of you know, sticker or paint apps other than that lonely Decepticon symbol. You know, pretty much she's just basic. basic black. And I think I know where they were going with this, mostly because of the fact that she was a stealth bomber. Any type of coloring, especially in the dark of night, is not going to do it. Now, one thing I have noticed, though, I'm going to go ahead and pull... Oh, there you are. Okay. So, you know, I think these landing struts here are a little bit small, because when... See how she kind of wobbles here? She's not all that steady. Whereas this one is pretty solid. Now, the thing about it is, this is all... This whole thing is made in plastic to begin with. So, it's a little bit light, whereas the Titan's Returns version, you can feel a little bit of weight because there is actual metal on here, I think. The head is that on there. I think it's just the head then. Maybe it's just me. Anyway. But nonetheless, I like it though. I've been waiting for this since July, August. And you know, despite the fact that I went ahead and splurged $50 for the Hasbro version, and about, after shipping, about $100 for the Takara Tomy version. Like I said, you can see some differences in there. I mean, you have, it's pretty much the same figure. You just have a... I need to try and get this even there. Alright, so, okay, so basically you have pretty much the same figure. You get an extra head. Man, that did not sound right. Anyway, moving on. So basically, you know, you're getting an extra Titan Master head. Still has the same articulation, same posability, just different paint applications and such. And the thing about it is, this was something I had mentioned, and I'm going to mention it throughout this whole line, is that seems that Takara is going out of their way to make sure that the toy not just has playability, but also, you know, has, you know, the same paint applications. They like Hasbro, they try their best to go ahead and make sure that this thing has some really cool paint apps and everything. But the way I see it is, they wind up, you know, dropping the ball when it comes down to certain portions of the figure. The Titan Master itself, yeah, they have it on the face when it combines, but what about on the actual figure when that Headmaster is in its regular robot mode? You know, not combined, but separate. Come on, guys. I mean, you guys do this, you know, with special items that you're going to charge up the ass for. Do it for the retail as well. If Takara can do it, you guys sure can. So anyway, that's my usual gripe about, you know, certain things, but all in all, I like it. It is a great figure. I've been waiting for this, you know, for a long time, and like I said, it is a good figure. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of size comparisons, you know, with other figures, see how they match up. And then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Okay, so here we have Overlord, the Takara Tomy version, by himself, and we're going to go ahead and do a couple of size comparisons. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring them out with Takara Tomy's Super Jinrai. And as you can tell, you know, they're just about equal. Now I have seen some previews of some add-on kits to make Overlord a little bit better, bigger. I think it's just due to the fact that, again, going back to the original G1 version of Super God Master Force, that in the you know, the Titans Returns Overlord, mostly because of the add-on kit for this figure. I mean, you already got the engine parts, but what I'm probably going to wind up doing is, hang on a sec. Yeah, I'm trying to do two things at once. Narrate this review as well as set up the diorama. There we go. Okay. So there they are in all their glory. And more than likely, I'm probably going to go ahead and take a few stills before I start editing this video. But you know, all in all, you know, I'd say it's pretty much been a good one. Okay, and there he is. Transformers Legends. purchase. So once again, this is Phoenix Draconis saying peace and have fun.